Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing an explanation video on a new sport I'm working on. Inspired off the games TF2, Overwatch, and Paladins, any push-to-payload game pretty much. It doesn't matter which one you're familiar with, you should be familiar with the concept of attack and defend. So basically, I'm going to go over the muscle groups you're going to have to stretch out and basic concepts of how the game works. Right now, all I have is a hockey stick, but there are other methods that I plan on adding in the game and incorporating to create more versatility in classes. But for the most part, there's going to be like throwable balls that you can throw at the ball to kind of alter its course. It's going to be straight sticks, hook sticks, and people who just solely use their bodies. But the way they maneuver the ball is entirely up to them. So for the most part, I'm going to go over to like basic muscle groups that you would need to stretch. The first one we're going to do are pretty much stretching the tendons in your toes. So we're going to hold those for 20 seconds each. After that, hopefully if I remember, I'm going to stretch the front tendons to my foot by extending my leg outward and putting the front of my toes on the foot. And I'll demonstrate those right now because I need to stretch before I even explain the sport. This is that front of the toe stretch that I was talking about. It stretches the tendons in the front of your foot. If you twist your ankle, it works better. Because then you can get all your tendons. Now the next stretch I'm going to do, I pretty much put my foot flat on the floor and try to straighten it out. It stretches out your heel. You're going to feel your heel burn a lot if you don't. In order to do that, you put your leg straight, diagonally, and then you kind of just put your weight on your left leg. And then in order to do the other leg, you just swap it around. You want to make sure your feet are straight when you're stretching. Or if the stretch requires it, you got to twist certain parts of your body to get all of the muscles and tendons in that group. Another stretch that we're going to do is quads, and then we're going to work on our split. My split sucks, but it's not that bad. Don't overstretch either, because you could tear a muscle. Just know your limits and do it. Don't go past your limits until you feel comfortable actually going past it. I would recommend grabbing your leg at the end of your shin, almost the beginning of your ankle, kind of just there on your leg bone, but at the end of it. This is that split one. This one's kind of weird. You gotta like stretch your legs out, and then you gotta push your hip out in order to get the tendons in between your legs to actually stretch. So this one, don't go too hard on either. And the last one I'm going to show you, well, is 2 minutes. Actually, a couple. the last one for the leg group. I'm gonna move over here. Let me see how the posture is, or the area zoning, or field of view is. I guess I'll do it right here. Basically, like I said, heels, toes, everything straight. Go down 20 seconds. I like to extend this one because this is my most tense area. Tried holding it for 25, but I can only hold it for 21. Oh geez, that felt so good. Okay, now we're gonna move to the arm, well, lower back. And then we can move to the shoulder area. But we're not gonna be carrying any weight unless we're carrying those heavy balls that we use to hit the ball at portion. And that's something for later though. I don't have those materials at disposal at the moment. What ball would work? Probably just all full of water, but that would suck getting hit by it. But so getting hit by a stick. We need protective gear for this sport too. Anyways, I like to stretch both these arms out like this, locking my fingers and twisting them. Let my palm face my back. Don't do it too much. They're pretty simple. All you gotta do is kind of like angle your arm, tilt to the side, and lift your arm up until you feel like a good stretch around here. Don't do it too much. Like I said. Now, last stretch. Finally. Tilt your head so you feel some sort of tension here. And just lightly hold it. Alright, now to the basics. Like I said, this is a push the payload type game. So as you can see, there's a street corner. Let's say, for example, we start here, and from there on, the next corner, or the next quarter, probably after the next corner, you will have your next check. And once you reach back to the finish, that's the final checkpoint. I mean, usually there'll be 3 checkpoints depending on like how large the map is, how the map is placed, and yeah. So for instance, this neighborhood is just a giant square. It literally is, with divisions in it. And basically the whole point would be to stay within the square. But people could take any division to flank and do whatever's necessary. But it'd be a 5v5, and yeah, the ball can be maneuvered however necessary, as long as it doesn't stay held. It needs to stay in motion, so they have to either kick it, catch it, throw it, dribble it. Dribbling would give away their position though due to sound, and then people would start running towards that position. But it is helpful, especially if you're by yourself flanking and trying to push the ball. But there's so many scenarios that can happen. One thing I do know is that, let's get to basically the basics of the game. Everything's about footwork and coordination. You don't want to look at the ball because that gives away what you might be doing. You want to stay looking at the opponent while using your peripheral. Basically, it's like Overwatch, but there's no cooldowns. The only cooldown is your stamina. And I don't know, it's a fun new way to play a game. They actually had like obstacle courses for this. That would be interesting. Ways people could flank you. But right now, all I have to work with is my front yard and this little roadway in front of it. I do see a couple good locations nearby, like Stearns Park. I think it's East Valrico Park. Maybe West Valrico Park might have a good spot too, because they have like a good portion of a ring. So it's a good place to try to push the payload. But for the most part, there's no eliminations unless you get a foul. I guess ways to foul would be like traveling and ball hogging. I guess, yeah, if that's the case, we should take out ball hogging. But like I said, it's still a work in progress. There are other things that need to be added to this game. For the most part though, it's pretty fun to just practice. Even if there's nobody to play with right now, I see it actually coming to a good start. But other than that, thanks for watching. Peace, and you guys have a good time.